welcome to another episode of the show. Welcome to Illuminated. I'm so excited because today, Illuminated the podcast, not Illuminated the coaching certification, but that's what we are going to talk about in this episode. So as you know, I am an intuitive. I'm a transformational coach for leaders, entrepreneurs, public figures, and I also train people how to do the work that I do. And so this is really exciting. We're doing our 8th round starting August 7th, but actually it's starting technically July the 9th. We're actually going to be releasing a digital training on the 10th, but we're having everyone who's signed up early get to attend on Sunday the 9th if they'd like to watch that training live. So we're really excited about that. And that's happening at 10 a.m. Central on Sunday, July 9th. So if you sign up early, you get to start receiving basically now, which many of you have been. If you're listening to this and you've been considering stepping into coaching, or maybe you weren't until this very moment and you have like this sudden awareness that you need to do this, because I think that kind of happened to Nora actually, which we'll talk about in a second, is that perhaps you've been led to this podcast for a reason. Perhaps you've been praying for changes. You've been asking, what's the next step for me in my life? And perhaps you know what? This is awesome. We're going to talk about this in this episode. Our episodes get completely guided, by the way, but I'm like getting all these downloads of like signs that you're meant to become a spiritual coach. And so that's going to be what this episode is going to be about. And what are some of the signs that you might be being guided on this journey? And Nora and I are going to share our stories. But first of all, let me just introduce her, because you may or may not already know this, but Nora is my enrollment manager. She's gone through the coaching certification just a couple of years ago. She has a successful business now, and she coaches others in their spiritual transformation, but also through business. And she's a badass, but she also is my enrollment manager. So she gets to talk to all the lovely, lovely people who apply for the certification. And she's here with me today. So welcome, Nora.
Thank you. Excited to be back as always. And I love the downloads that are coming through. I'm excited to talk all about this. I was just having so many memories come through, even as you were like introing it just now.
Yeah. Yes. My lengthy intro was like, let's let Nora talk.
Yes, I'm here.
She's here too. But yeah, so we wanted to come in and share because we know there's some queens out there, and actually men can apply too. The masculine could apply too. I've had men join. Just a lot of women tend to join, but if you are masculine and you feel called to be a part of this program, you are more than welcome to join as well. Everyone is welcome. So if you feel called, follow that nudge. But, this journey for me actually came about rather in a roundabout way on my spiritual journey. And so Nora and I are going to talk about maybe some of those signs, those initial feelings that we had right before we stepped on this journey, because obviously her and I are both really glad we wouldn't be doing anything else. Nora, would you be doing anything else with your life right now?
No, I think about this all of the time where I'm like, it hasn't even been that long. Like I think I graduated from the cert just over 2 years ago, and it feels like a different world. And that's something I come back to every single day is like, I have like what my dream job always was. And there's there's nothing I could dream up that would have been better. But it's crazy because it hasn't even been that long, and so much can change so fast when we're fully committed to it and trusting ourselves and like believing in like the visions that we're being shown for ourselves too.
Yeah. That final VIP day for your group was in June, because it was right before I moved to Manhattan Beach. It was 2 days. It was like June 12th or something, or 11th or 12th, because I moved to Manhattan Beach like 2 days after that.
Yeah. Only 2 years ago.
Only 2 years ago.
Right?
And I'm in Tennessee now. But yeah, it's so wild to look back and see how much has changed since that time for you, for me, for all of us, because of all this inner work. But first of all, let's talk about what a spiritual coach does. And then we're going to talk about the signs of you are being called to do this. And so I'm going to share with you, first of all, it's hard to honestly sum it up. Let's be honest. We do a lot with our clients, but we can share what we're passionate about too. So my clients come to me as my private clients these days because they want to be their absolute highest self on their highest path in their business and their success in their leadership. For me, like everyone's going to have a different ideal client, by the way. But a lot of times the work is the same underneath whatever it is, whether you're even business coaching someone, some of this stuff is the same that your client's moving through, or whether you're helping moms, or whether you're helping people with their money, like grow their money and success or confidence. It's always an inside out job, right? And so if someone comes to me and they're struggling with something, or they want to create a bigger dream or vision for themselves, my job, our job as coaches, at least in my program, and how every coaching program is different, we are expanders for our clients. We are helping our clients to see what else is possible for their lives, for their relationships. We are helping them to step into a higher version of themselves with more freedom, more joy, more love, and being able to navigate this spiritual journey and this awakening journey, to understanding that we're more than just this physical body. And so with that being said, how do we do that? How do we coach our clients? Well, there's a variety of ways. I do teach my clients to tap into their intuition with their clients in session, and that's gotten stronger and stronger with every single round because it changes with the way the collective is and what people need. So things get enhanced as I grow. So not only how to use your intuition in sessions with clients to help them move forward, but tips and tools and practices and exercises to help them to do that, help them to move the fear that's standing in front of them, stepping into their purpose or next level, right? Working on the things that are keeping them small: lack, scarcity, fear, money, lack of confidence, lack of self-worth. There are things that stand in front of our biggest visions. And then we get to manifest and help them step forward and create those highest visions, right? But as a coach, we help them to move the things out of the way. We are kind of like blind spot detectors, but intuitives too, to help our clients, to give them what they need. And it's not about coaching, moving forward, hustle, push, grind. In my world, there's part of being a coach is helping your clients move forward and not stay stuck in the healing. The other part is the feminine energy, the intuition, the internal, taking care of ourselves, not always grinding, the inner work. There's a balance between the feminine and the masculine. There's a lot that you actually learn inside this program that's very profound and deep and powerful to get your clients moving forward, but also tending to themselves, mastering their emotions. I mean, I could go on and on. It depends on the client and what they need support with to help them move into their highest vision. So, and again, piece of that is you as a coach being able to trust yourself in session, have the confidence to lead a client, have the tips and tools that, like little things even, that are huge game changers, like first week session. What do we do? I have a whole map that I give my clients on how to have a powerful first session with your client, to know some of the things I still do to this day with all of my clients. So for you, Nora, I know that was, it's like, so it's hard to sum up because it's just so profound. So for you, how would you describe what an intuitive spiritual coach is with regards to illuminated coaching certification specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you described it well. I was talking with someone yesterday about this and like their title, and I said the same thing of, and I've always felt this way, but spiritual coach doesn't even do justice with like what you're learning and what you're leading your clients through. Like there's no words that can describe the power of it, but for me, it's always come back to, you touched on this too, but like that we're souls having a human experience and ultimately helping people to align back to like their soul level and that highest version of themselves, to your point, whether it's in their career, in corporate, or in their relationships, or in business, but really in all areas. And one thing that I think is really unique about Illuminated, because this is, again, another like timely question I got yesterday from someone. She asked me, if I'm leading a session, like what if I don't know like what to tell someone to do? And what I explained to her is like, our job as coaches isn't just to like tell people what to do and give them advice like we would in our personal life. There's such a big difference. Like our job is to guide people back to their own answers and their own truth. So you're channeling questions and exercises and all of those things, but you're not just like regurgitating what you heard on a podcast or in a book. Yeah. And telling people to do stuff. And that was one of the reasons why, looking back, I'm really grateful I did this certification and did one in general, because you were always so good about teaching us that. And I think it does make all of the difference in like a client experience, because otherwise we coach based on our human filter, what we went through, and it can actually do more harm than good. So for me, it's like, we're these vessels that are connecting back to source or the universe or God or whatever you resonate with. but ultimately we're helping people to stand bolder in their authenticity, their truth, be who they really are, and like fall in love with themselves. Because when you start there, that is the foundation, and everything else in your life changes when your relationship to self changes too.
Yes. Which we have literally a week on all these different things you're hearing us talk about. We go really deep into that. We have a week on dating yourself first and what that actually looks like and practices to do. And you are actually going through this transformation yourself. So you don't need to already have been coaching someone or been on this journey forever to be a powerful illuminated coach.
Yeah. I mean, I was in finance too, as you know, but just for anyone that's listening. And one thing too that I remember thinking in the beginning, like I have a vivid memory of I either heard Erica on your podcast because she was in the round before me, or I watched her testimonial. And I had the thought of like, deep down of I could never be a spiritual coach. Like I didn't think I was powerful enough or like tapped in enough. That was one thing that looking back held me back early on. And then I had a download that like came over me like a ton of bricks one day in my kitchen that was like, you're supposed to do this. But prior to that, I think that I thought I had to like have all of these skills or be more intuitive or be psychic or like have something that I didn't have at the time or thought I didn't have at the time upon coming in. But I learned like my gifts opened up while I was in the certification. Like my intuition got louder and deeper while I was in it. I was not as aware and tapped in and like conscious. I didn't know how to use my intuition fully before joining. So for anyone that's listening, that's like, I don't know if I could actually be a spiritual coach. I don't know if I have those gifts. You join them because you do have those gifts. You're born with them. We all have our unique gifts, but you're going to develop them during the time that you're with Amanda for 8 months. Like that's exactly what it's for too.
Yes. And you get all the support that you need along the way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one that gets lost in my programs. If you're, Nora always says this too, when someone's not showing up to calls, you get a message from me, a loving one, like, hey, how are you? Like, I just wanted to check in. Like, we're not going to let you sink.
Yeah. There's no slipping through the cracks. Like you're going to be like, let me check my Voxer. Where's this person? Are they not coming today? And that's something that's cool too, because it's a high touch program with you. And that's something that's super, super rare these days. Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's just so special too, because you get to meet a bunch of people who are holding you in the program who are going through it together. You can join if you're already a coach, but you just want to learn from me because people do that. Sometimes they join because they're like, I'm a coach, but I need the spiritual, more of the, the heart, the feminine energy. I want to be able to master that in my intuition with my clients rather than be very left brain. So if you're like a health coach or a wellness coach, or you've done traditional, I just audibly heard traditional coaching methods, which are powerful too. This is just different. It's just different, It's the curriculum is stuff I've been guided over the years. I am an intuitive. I am a channel. I channel during the sessions. You will have a whole energetic upgrade to your system while you're in this program, and a transformation coming alive for you to your highest self. Your higher self's going to be guiding you throughout this journey. But yeah, you're going to have the support of so many other people in the group that are also going through this together. And no matter what level you're at, like this is about you and your experience in your purpose and what has called you here to share in the world. Right now we are really needed on this planet. This is even bigger than just ourselves.
Yeah. And I think it's also worth saying that like, this is for people, this is at least like, again, why I was so excited for yours specifically, that are like fully committed to their spiritual journeys too. Like people don't have to want to become coaches necessarily, although by the time they go through it, they usually do. I know there's been several cases of
Erica
that too.
was one.
Yes, which is wild. And even me, I went into it and I was like, I had a feeling, right? I was like, I was deep into my spirituality already. I always wanted to do like therapy or counseling or something like that, even in college. I had a feeling I would be a coach, but I went into it like, I'm just going to see what happens. And nothing rocked my world more. And I think it's one of those things where it's like, if you do plan to make a career out of it and a life out of it, then why wouldn't you do the best of the best, which in my opinion is yours, obviously.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So, what are some signs moving into that? What are some signs you think of someone who's meant to become a coach? Maybe we can riff back and forth and say, like, what's one sign for
Okay,
you?
I'll start. So, one sign for me, and this is something that I hear all the time on calls too, probably the most, is that people are already coaching with like their friends and family. People come up to
Yeah.
them out of nowhere and tell them, you know, what they're going through, and they're giving them advice, and that the person always feels like they're just naturally guiding people back to them, their highest self and their own truth. So, it's usually someone that's already like taking on that role and really loving it and enjoying it in other aspects of life too. And for me, how that showed up is like my favorite part of my job was managing. I loved like the people, I loved mentoring, I loved coaching. But then aside from that, I was one of those people too, where I'm like, why is this random person is coming up to me on the street, pouring out their heart. And I'm like,
Yes.
come up to me, let me give you guidance. And that was always happening to me. So
Yeah.
that's
Because you're a
my number
natural
one sign.
healer.
Exactly. So that, and
Yeah.
it still happens. It's so funny. So like my friends are always like, you have a face that says like, come up to me and talk to me. And I'm like, I mean, yes, it's also what I do. So,
Yeah. She's putting the vibe out.
mm-hmm. What's a sign for
Ooh.
you?
Okay. We're
Moving energy.
moving beautiful people with that. Let's all take a breath. I'm like, where did that come from? So the second sign that I would say in tandem is you're obsessed with spiritual concepts. You're obsessed with intuition. You're obsessed with personal development. You can't get enough of it. You want to read all the books, you listen to all the podcasts, and you're just so drawn to this work. I was so obsessed with this work. I started a blog because of my own transformation, and that's how I was guided into becoming a coach. That first step was obsession. I was obsessed with angels. I was obsessed with law of attraction, manifestation, creation, and I couldn't get enough. I couldn't get enough. In fact, I would stay home sometimes instead of going out with my friends once I got into this, and I would just want to take in all of the stuff. So if you've been obsessed with your own personal growth journey and reading books and following accounts like mine, listening to my podcast, that's sign number 2.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I had a blog as well that only, it was like 6 months and then I started working, but it was called Grow with Nora. And like the statement, like the purpose statement for it or tagline is, it's like verbatim to elevate, which is crazy. And it was in
Like,
2012.
wow.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Premonitions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On
Mm-hmm.
the note of premonitions, sign number 3 is that you have this like nagging feeling inside you that what you're doing right now isn't what you're supposed to be doing long
Yes.
term. And you
Mm-hmm.
feel like you have a bigger purpose and you maybe you do know what it is, but maybe you're not admitting to yourself what it is, but there's like that feeling deep down, I'm meant for more, I'm meant for more, I'm meant for more. There's something more I'm supposed to do. How this normally shows up is I'm supposed to do big things in the world. And that was a feeling that I always had deep down for years and years and years. It felt frustrating because I didn't know what it was or I wasn't allowing myself to own it and things like that. But I did always have that deep feeling as well.
Yes. And sometimes it can even just turn on randomly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're ready to know, when you're
Yes.
ready to know, right? That like sometimes you can just all of a sudden wake up and you hate your job all of a sudden, or you're frustrated, right? A lot of times that frustration is a gift that's guiding us towards our purpose. And so if you start feeling like what you're doing right now is not what you're supposed to be doing, and you're frustrated and you're annoyed with it, I started feeling like that in my corporate job, like kind of all of a sudden, you know? Um, so that knowing starts to kick in, that deep knowing starts to kick in, that something more is meant for you. And sometimes that can turn from frustration in your current experience. And it's a gift telling you that there's a higher calling for you. So I think those are really 3 powerful ones that we shared. And so if you can say yes to all of those, I would say explore it. You cannot make a wrong choice in this. I would step forward and see how it feels. And like I mentioned, we are starting in August, but we're actually starting in July. So I would not delay. if you're listening to this and you feel a call, take action on it, because sometimes our fear tries to tell us, oh, it's not the right time, I'll do it next time. And then, like, how many times maybe have you already said that and you still haven't done it? And so I would just say, this isn't to try to convince anyone of anything. You already know inside of you what you are being called and guided to do in your life. And I'm here for you. We are here for you to hold your hand through the process, to guide you and to support you into stepping into who you came on this planet to be. Right now, there's a lot of heavy stuff in the world. And many of us are getting tapped on the shoulder to really spread our wings, to stretch ourselves, to put ourselves out there, and to do our soul's work. Many of us signed up before coming into this body to even share and teach others, and we've done it in many lifetimes, you know? So what I would say is, this certification program too, like, you'll have practice clients inside. We help you, if you need, get those practice clients even too. So you'll already walk away with testimonials. I've never had a bad assessment, because they'll fill out a form in exchange for your coaching that you offer as a gift for a month. And we have you do it for a few people. I've never had a bad review. You'll get feedback, but you'll already probably have testimonials, because many walk away with it. And not only that, you will walk away a whole different version of you, who's confident, who's ready to step forward, who's clear. We do give you business training as well, so that you know how to run a sales call, how I do those in a way that feels soulful and not pressury, because, we don't do that. You can certainly test that out by talking to Nora about this program to see how we do sales is different. And it's from the heart, from the soul. And then also too, we make sure that when you leave this program, you have a path, a map, and you know what action steps to take for you and your unique business. Some of my clients grow off of social these days. Some of them grow on, but you are going to have and be able to follow your intuition, stepping outside of this program to sign on your first clients, to sign on your next clients. Even during this program, it can happen. I have people sign on clients during my certification programs. And, we also too just had one alumni call for our recent group that just graduated in January. And they were sharing about how they have group programs. I'm so proud of them for taking the action and stepping forward, because now they have group programs they're leading, private clients they're leading, paying clients that they've had since graduating from this. So you walk out so much more confident, owning your skills, gifts, and abilities, and you have so much fun. And it's addicting to coach other people.
It's the best feeling in the world. Like, I always feel, sometimes people are like, do you feel drained after client calls? I'm like, I feel the best that I can feel after serving my clients. So it is amazing. And you do the confidence piece I want to go deeper into as well, because I think that when you go through a program like this, you feel confident in your coaching skills. You feel confident in charging people higher ticket. You feel confident in the results, that like you can get people results, right? And transformation and that kind of stuff. And that goes a really, really long way, rather than trying to do it on your own. Cause like anyone can do anything on their own, right? But is it going to take longer? In my opinion, absolutely. And I don't know. I'm always like, I'm in it for the ease. I'm in it to like make my dreams happen with ease and as quickly as I can. And I'm not going to put myself in a position to have things take longer and to struggle, because it's like, why wait? So
100%. So anything else you would add at all to that, Nora? Because I'm just really excited. I always get excited every time I get to help more people step on this journey, because I truly believe in this program, and that it is its own unique experience.
yeah, the only thing that I would like reaffirm, because this has actually come up on a couple calls too, is that you don't have to market your business heavily like online and on Instagram if you don't want to. So even for me, I do corporate workshops and leadership sessions and stuff like that. You'll never see me talk about them on Instagram. Like, that's not, I'm doing them in person. Why would I, right? It's a different strategy. But I know that you have plenty of clients too that come out doing retreats and things like that too. So if you are just hesitating because you're worried about showing up on social media, one, we go deep into that actually in the program of like people get practice going live and things like that in the group. You still do that, right?
Yeah, in our
Yeah,
own Facebook community. We have a private
exactly.
Facebook community just for the group. So we throw you out there getting confident on
Yes.
video.
And everyone
Just in the
starts
group.
somewhere. Yeah.
Safe,
I mean, I was, yes. And it's
safe place
honestly
to do
was
it.
the best thing that you ever did because I came out of it so comfortable. So there's that. But then also like you're gonna have your gifts, right? Amanda empowers you to lead with your intuition and building your business too. So if you want to be out in person, like do you, that's something that's available to you too. So focus on, do I want this personal transformation for myself? Do I really want to go deep? Because you will come out a different version of self is number one, which is most important. And then two is like taking out all of the fears of like, how will I look when I show up? What will people think? Like if I did this and I knew it would work out and I knew that I could, make a life out of it and a career and all of that kind of stuff, would it be worth it then? Would I do it? And if your answer is yes, then I think that those are the two things that I always come back to.
And then the last thing is like have a fuck it, let's go mentality
Yes.
because be bold, be at this. We're like, because in truth, you only live once. And if you're being called to do something, you kind of have to say, screw it, let's go.
Yes.
If you want to be successful, you have to have that mentality kind of over and over and over again in your life in different ways, in different territories. And you have to just go for it. You just have to take that leap and that risk and show up. Obviously, you have to show up inside the program, but it's only about an hour a week outside of our calls of homework, sometimes even less. So it's not going to be like this whole take up your entire life situation. We meet twice a month for group calls. And then the other weeks, it's either a Facebook Live Q&A or a digital module for that week that you do on your own time. So you're really only having to show up twice a month to a live call. So the rest you can do when works with your schedule. And then we do pair you up with other group members and do group weeks, and you can schedule times with them on your own time. And that's once a month, like on an off week, right? So, and then there's usually like some sort of workbook almost every week, not each week, but maybe 3 weeks out of the month or something like that. So I would say 90 minutes to 2 hours twice a month for our calls. So easy, so manageable. They're on Monday evenings. So it's like the highlight of the start of your week. You get to start the whole week off on a fresh start. And then like an hour worth of homework probably for the week. And it's homework you want to do. Like it's reflection work you want to do.
It was so fun. And I just did it. I was working a lot at the time, actually, so I can speak to this too. And it was so manageable. It was so fun. It's what kept me going when I like really disliked my job too. And I looked forward so much to doing the soul work over the weekends. Like I would always go out by the ocean and do it. And it was so magical. And it also made me happier at my job too, just as a person. Because before entering, I feel like I was just kind of like blah, to be honest. And getting into the magic of this program helped me be a happier human just in general as well, like during that time too. Even though I wasn't happy at my job, it made me just happier in general.
Love it. Yay. So how do you apply? So it's really easy. There's just a type form on my website. So if you go to amandamerritt.com/certification or just my main page of my website, you'll be able to find it. You scroll down, you can watch a bunch of testimonial videos from past groups too. There's an application. So you just fill it out quick, let us know, answers a couple of questions on there. Then Nora will actually text you. It works better that way. So emails don't go to hit spam. So she will give you a quick little text once your application's accepted. And I mean, unless you don't fill it out or unless you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this right now, it's not a good time or whatever, like you're going to get accepted. And we do want more than one word answers on the application, but we don't need paragraphs, a line per answer, 2 lines per answer is perfect. Because the two of you will schedule a 20 to 30 minute chat just to make sure it's a good fit. We want to make sure people are a good fit for this program too, that you're truly ready, that you're excited about it. We want to also make sure it's right. So we're not just trying to scoop people in the doors for this. Like we want it to be a fit on your end. we want the full body excitement. So trust that excitement inside of you is what's guiding you. It's your soul, your higher self guiding you into this. And God's source will make a way for what's, what you're meant for with this to happen. So trust that you make this leap, this investment in yourself, that it's not only going to come back, it can come back easy as heck. It could be just a small handful of coaching packages. Heck, depending on how you market yourself, it could be 1 or 2 coaching packages. 3
I was
or
just gonna say,
4.
it could be one client. Yeah.
It could be one client. Yeah. So
Easily.
just think about it from your bold queen energy, your bold bitch energy, as we like to say. Yeah. Think about it from your future self, claim it, follow it, and know that inside you're going to be becoming that version of you that can rise into it.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. So Nora, thank you so much for being on, and follow us on Instagram if you want to. We have an Instagram account for the certification, but my personal one is at the Amanda Merritt. And then Nora are you at the Nora Virginia, or are you
I am Nora Virginia?
I am Nora Virginia. Okay, perfect. So you can follow her too and DM Nora or myself, but definitely apply. And yeah, it's really cool to see what Nora's created as well, on top of, because she's a grad, she wasn't coaching at all before the cert, and it sparked her. She built her own business. She grew it. She did the dang thing. Not me. I gave her the tools, but she's really created so much since that point. It was a jump off point for her into her next chapter, right? So use her as an example. Like, she could be your future self.
Yeah. I mean, I can confidently say, I said this the other day in one of my coaching calls, that I would not be where I am right now without the cert. So it has been a huge part of my journey, my success. I was able to leave my full-time job really quickly, basically, and surpass that income and all of it. So this was my foundation and launch point for sure. And I don't know if I'd be here without it, because everything that I come back to for myself and also my clients really comes from this program too.
Yay. Well, Nora, thank you for being on, as always. Love having you. I'm so grateful for your support, and
right back at you. I'm excited for this next round.
Inspired to watch you like run with all of this. And yeah, she's just wonderful. So it'll feel like you're talking to a soul sister when you talk with Nora. So
yeah, the calls are fun. They're casual.
Yeah. So check it out. We're excited. And again, we're enrolling now. So our bonus calls start extremely soon. Early July 9th is when you're going to either be able to attend it live, or on the 10th, you're going to get the digital come through as a preparation for the journey. So the activation starts now. Woohoo! And you also get bonuses such as my self-coaching course, which is you giving yourself sessions and guidance on yourself. So there's that program you get as a gift. You get my Ascend Your Money program as a gift. It's a 4-week money channeled experience. You also get access to my meditation portal monthly membership. And if you're currently a member, then we will go ahead, and you won't have to pay moving forward at all for that membership for the lifetime of the membership portal, meditation portal. And that even includes 1 call a month. So that's crazy. And you get a 30-minute, depending on when you sign up and how soon you apply, you'll also potentially get a discount. We're doing $750 off your deposit, and a 30-minute session with me. We also have pay in full bonuses that we're doing, which is crazy. I'm not going to be able to do this forever, because how I'm supporting and my time and all that, it's going to be shifting moving forward. So I'm not sure if this might be one of the last rounds that I do where I'm able to gift some one-on-one time. So this is also a really good opportunity for that too. So yay. Well, Nora, thank you so much for your time and for being here, and for everyone for listening.
Having me. Yeah, this was so much fun.
And just have the courage. Tap me on Instagram. Let me know if you're thinking about it. Apply. Be bold. Claim it. Choose it. The universe is going to support whatever you choose. Claim that and drop that into your body and run like the wind into your highest life.
Yes. And remember, YOLO.
Yes. Your future clients are waiting for you. All right. Thank you, Nora.
Bye.